Hey YouTube, it's me, Harry Keys. I'm back here at the EB Lyons Center in Dubuque, Iowa. Of course, in the previous video, we were just up there at the greenhouse and the old mines and everything. But now we come to this farm site. I'm at this open area here behind me. And anyway, the pine chapel, it's right up there if you can see it through the trees. But we're going to get up there in a minute. But something interesting over here too. And over here happened, with the old farm site, happened to have been the grapevine yards where the grapevines were. You can pause to read that. Happened to have been where the old grapevines, I mean, not the grave mines, but grapevines. That's where they were. They were over here. And now I'm going to take us up to that pine chapel. You know, that little church chapel on top of the hill. Yeah. And this was somebody's farm down around in here at one time. But we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, it's a very fascinating place. And the house and the actual farm was actually below the pine chapel at that time. So anyway, we're gonna climb up this hill here and we'll be up at the pine chapel. And plus also, you know, the other side of the hill, there's like vine and root cellars and all that stuff over there, but we'll get to that eventually, I promise. But we just gotta climb up this big hill here. There she is. The little pine chapel. Otto Junkerman, his wife Julia, it was their farm. Here's a picture of the farm site, of the barns, the house. Picture of one of the barns. Here's a picture of the house. The house is down below that way, and as well as the barns and everything, but we'll get to that. And I'm kind of out of breath from climbing this hill. And there's the plan for the farm here. And this chapel was actually built during the time of the Civil War, from 1860 to 1865. Here's the history of the chapel. You could pause to read it. But anyway, we cannot get into the chapel. But over here there's a window where you can look inside. Junkerman Farm Site, 1859-1884. Here's when they were doing renovations in 1980. Once again, Otto and Julia Junkerman. Oh, sorry. Anyway, here's the inside of the chapel. Okay, well, that was the chapel. One last look at the chapel. Now we're going to go down to the actual farm site. Yep, down there's where we're heading. These rocks are a little slippery, so I got to make sure I don't slip and fall. And these steps are pretty steep. Here's some more vineyards here. Yep. Here's one last look at those vineyards here. And there's the old fence post there. Now we're down to the actual site of the farm and everything. Pause to read this if you want. And over here, I believe, happened to have been the house. But really can't go inside it because it's overgrown and weedy. Can't go down in what used to be the house. Here's the water pump. And over here, I believe, happens to have been like, I think these are old wooden fence posts and everything over here. I think over in here is where one of the barns was. Okay, you can kind of see over in there is an old fence post there. It is pretty muddy here. So I think back in there somewhere where one of the barns happened to have been. Cool. In the trail, I'm finding like pieces of old bricks. It's a piece of glass. Yeah, more pieces of glass. It's cool. Some old relics from the farm. But believe it or not, over in there I think is like maybe where one of the barns could have been here. Maybe I was wrong thinking that one of the barns was over there. It just looked like that in the picture, but I think over here was probably something too. Because there's a pile of rocks here, which is probably a foundation to one of the barns and stuff. See if we can go off trail here a little bit here to this does look like something back here. Whoa! Sorry, I'm kind of losing my balance. And you see down there, I believe it's the Catfish Creek. Catfish Creek. It's probably where one of the barns was. I'm thinking back in here. Big pile of rocks. Try not to hurt myself here. Oh, sorry, I thought I seen something. And all on this trail you're finding pieces of old ceramic and everything, and glass and all, which is pretty cool. Gotta be careful. And down there is the Catfish Creek. You can see the river is kind of high, so I'm not going to go down there. I mean, the creek is pretty high, as you can see, so I'm just not going to go down there. Not going to go down that way. Kind of over around the corner is where the wine cellar and the root cellars are. But maybe I'll probably get to that in a part 3 video. Yeah, as you can see, down there is the creek here. And there's the fence there. Anyway, the vine and root cellars are going to be in the next video, so I don't want to make too terribly long of a video, so stay tuned.